So eBay recently made a change that has resulted in us sellers paying more PayPal fees than we were paying before. Now, on the one hand, it could kind of be argued that we're actually saving money, sort of. But on the other hand, I'm not entirely convinced that what eBay is doing is actually even legal here. So this change happened starting November 1st, 2019. So throughout the end of 2018 and 2019, eBay has started to collect sales tax for us for items shipped into certain states, and they keep adding more states. It's currently about 35 states. Now, the way they used to do this was, let's use an example. Let's say we sold a $100 item and we sold it into a state that charges 7% sales tax. Now, keep in mind that each state charges a different amount for sales tax, but in this example, we'll use 7%. So we would see the $100 order plus $7 for sales tax, and eBay would get that $7 right away. They would hold on to it, and they would take care of sending it to the state whenever they needed it. The $100 would then come into your PayPal account, and you would be charged PayPal fees only on the $100 that you received. Starting November 1st, 2019, eBay kind of changed this a little bit. They said that now you will receive the full $107 into your PayPal account. You'll be charged PayPal fees on that full amount, and immediately after you're charged the fee, eBay will take the $7 out and then hold on to it and then send it to the state when they have to do that. Obviously, this means we are paying more PayPal fees than before. Now, I looked at the past year, and I looked at the first 6 months of the year, and I collected $19,053.59 in sales tax. So if we double that, it's a little under $40,000. Let's just round it up to $40,000 because we're going to assume I'm going to make more money in quarter 4. So we'll say this year I'm going to collect around $40,000 in sales tax. So if I had been charged fees for that full $40,000, that's an additional $1,160 a year in PayPal fees. Now, keep in mind that I am a high volume seller, and most people aren't going to be charged this much or have this high volume of sales tax to take care of, but this is the situation that I'm in. An extra $1,160 a year in fees, and that's not chump change. Now, why is this happening? What is going on here? Well, before 2018, you were only really responsible for collecting sales tax for one state, and that was the state that you lived in. So for me, that was New York State. I used to live in New York. So I only charged sales tax to customers if I shipped items to them in New York. Then in 2018, a bunch of the laws changed. It became a little bit more confusing. And all of a sudden, I had to start collecting sales tax for multiple states throughout the country. And I had to organize that all myself, keep track of that all myself. And to help do that, I used a service called TaxJar. Well, increasingly, the states started to realize how confusing this was for small sellers like us. So they started to enact these laws called marketplace facilitator laws. And basically what they say is that now eBay and Amazon are responsible for taking care of the sales tax, and we small sellers don't have to worry about it. So now eBay is taking care of it for us. So you would think I would actually welcome this change because eBay is currently, as of now, collecting sales tax for us for 35 or 36 different locations. So it's much easier for me. And like I said, I was using TaxJar, which you're paying $44 a month for, so that's $588 a year. In addition to that, TaxJar only shows you how much sales tax you collected. If you wanted to automatically file the sales tax for you, it costs you anywhere from $16 to $20 per filing. Now, every state requires you to file a certain number of times a year. Some states is only one, sometimes it's 4 times a year, sometimes it's 12 times a year. But even if it's just twice per year on average, If we had TaxJar file all those for you automatically, that would be an additional $2,000 a year just to use that feature of TaxJar, in addition to the $588 a year you're already paying just to use the service. So $2,588 a year compared to the $1,160 that I'm now being charged extra. You can see how it kind of seems like it's almost like a bargain to have eBay do it for us instead. Now, of course, eBay is not being generous here. They're not doing this out of the goodness of their heart. They are being required to do this by the states that told them they have to start collecting the sales tax and taking care of it. And here's where things start to become a little bit fuzzy. So remember I mentioned before about these marketplace facilitator laws. These are the laws that require eBay to collect and remit the sales tax. And remit is just a fancy word for pay the sales tax to the states. Now, these sales tax laws differ for each state, but let's look at one here for Colorado. It says, in general, a marketplace facilitator, that's eBay, must collect and remit to the department all applicable state and state administered taxes. A marketplace facilitator has all the administrative and substantive rights, obligations, and liabilities of a retailer with respect to any sales made by a marketplace seller, that's us, or a multi-channel seller, that's us too, through the facilitator's marketplace. So that sounds to me like eBay has to directly collect the sales tax, but it's kind of fuzzy, right? Are they allowed to first have us collect it and then grab it from us? I'm not really finding a good answer. So reading further along in Colorado's new law, it says this: the duties of collection cannot be delegated to marketplace sellers, that's us. This sounds to me like what they are doing is not right, that they cannot delegate to us the collection of it. Now, it could be argued that they didn't do that the process they set up is not a delegation, that they've still set up an automated system where we get the sales tax and it immediately comes out. But I think there's also an argument for the other side that eBay is doing this wrong. I took a look at a bunch of other states' laws as well. Virginia, for instance, says beginning July 1st, you, and you in this case means eBay, you will be responsible for collecting and paying sales tax on behalf of all marketplace sellers. So again, a little bit fuzzy the language there. And all the states pretty much say the same thing, so it's a little bit fuzzy. But where I really begin to believe that eBay is doing something wrong is when you consider this. Let's go back in history a little bit. So back when I was responsible for collecting sales tax, here is what happened. The states would say, you are only responsible to collect sales tax once you hit a certain number of sales that you ship into our state. Once you hit that point, you are now legally responsible to collect sales tax. But before you can collect sales tax, you have to register with the state. And if you don't register with a state, you are not allowed to collect sales tax for that state. Let me repeat that. If you do not register with a certain state to collect sales tax for that state, you are not allowed to collect sales tax for that state. Now, going back to Colorado, it says here, marketplace sellers, that's us, generally do not have the rights, obligations, and liabilities of a retailer with respect to sales facilitated by a marketplace facilitator like eBay. A marketplace seller that sells exclusively through one or more marketplaces, such as eBay and Amazon, is not required to obtain a Colorado sales tax license. So, we are not obligated to get a Colorado sales tax license if we sell only through eBay and Amazon. That's their responsibility. But we are also not allowed to collect sales tax unless we have a Colorado sales tax license, which means that eBay is forcing us to do something that is not legal. They are forcing us to collect Colorado sales tax even though we're not allowed to, because we don't have a sales tax license, because we don't need one, because we are marketplace sellers. So that's where I really think that eBay has done something that's not entirely legal, not entirely right. But I may be overthinking this way too much. Let me know in the comments section what you guys think. Maybe I'm way off base here and way overthinking this. So I would love to hear what your opinion is on this as well. I know that this is really frustrating. Maybe I was just looking for a way to kind of attack eBay with regards to this new policy of theirs. But before you say I'm wrong, just kind of consider this last little bit of information. When I was paying sales tax myself, I would collect it and send it to the states every month, quarter, or year, depending on the state. And what I found was that if I paid my sales tax early, I received a discount. And you better believe that eBay is filing their sales tax early, getting that discount, and that discount is going right back into their own pocket. So if you guys found this video helpful at all, please be sure to give the video a thumbs up and consider subscribing to the channel for more tips about eBay and Amazon. And again, let me know in the comments section what you guys think. We'll start a dialogue about this, and maybe I'll gain some insights or calm down a little bit. But if you guys want to check out another video I did, I'll have it linked up here. I'll try to link up one about sales tax if you want the full scoop on why all these changes happen. Thanks so much for watching, guys. See you in the next video.